Tech in 5.
Dive into Python with a fun game. Learn in just 5 minutes.
Welcome to our tutorial on creating a digital clock using PyGame in Python. Hello and welcome back. In our previous video, we worked together to create an analog clock with Python and PyGame. Today, we're shifting gears from the traditional to the contemporary by building a digital clock. Just like with our analog clock, we'll start with the basics, setting up our display window, and then moving on to the core of the matter, rendering the current time in a digital format. Let's start by setting up our display as 400 by 200 pixels, creating a compact window that's just the right size for our digital clock. With PyGame displays methods, we initialize this window and gives it a fitting title. Every clock ticks, and our digital clock ticks with clock. This object will help us control how fast our clock updates. The main loop, running with the condition while running, is the heartbeat of our application, continuously checking for events and looking out for the moment you decide to close the window. Now, how do we show this time? That's where draw time comes into play. This function, yet to be detailed, takes our current time and renders it onto the screen. With the time drawn, we call update method to reveal our work, showing the updated time. Clock's tick method ensures our clock updates once every second. Traditional LCD liquid crystal display numbers are iconic for their simplicity and effectiveness. Each number, from 0 to 9, is crafted from 7 segments, lighting up in specific combinations to form the digits. This design allows for a clear and minimalist representation of numbers, which we aim to replicate in our digital clock project. First, we need a smart way to represent each segment. First up is using letters, where each segment from A to G corresponds to a specific part of our digital number. For instance, the number 1 could be represented as C and F. Next, we consider Boolean arrays, where each digit is represented by an array of 7 Booleans, each indicating whether a segment is true or false. Finally, we have the numerical representation, where digits are encoded as 7-digit numbers, each digit being either 1 or 0. In all 3 options, we've chosen to use Boolean arrays for this task. In this option, each segment's state, on or off, is clearly defined by true or false values, making it straightforward to program and understand. This approach, while compact, directly mirrors how digital displays work. We define segment positions, a mapping that outlines the polygonal shape of each of the 7 segments used to form digits. Concurrently, segment bools assigns a Boolean array to each numeral from 0 to 9, indicating which segments light up to display that numeral. Now, we're introducing 2 methods, drawDigit and draw:colon, both central to rendering our timepiece. drawDigit method is painting each digit on the PyGame display. Given a position and a Boolean array, it effectively draws the digit on the display. It starts with the digit's position, treating it as the anchor point. For each segment, if its corresponding Boolean flag is true, the method calculates its precise position relative to the digit's anchor. Then, it draws the segment as a polygon, coloring it by segment_color. The draw:colon method punctuates our time display. Taking a position as its parameter, it marks the spot for the colon. It then draws 2 circles vertically aligned, symbolizing the colon. Finally, we create the drawTime method, the last piece that brings together all elements to display the current time. We start with a fixed offset for our time display, positioning our clock nicely on the screen. By fetching the current time and formatting it as a string, we prepare to translate each character into visual components. As we iterate through the time string, we distinguish between digits and colons. For digits, we convert each character to an integer to fetch its Boolean representation, and then draw it using drawDigit. For colons, we make a slight adjustment to the X offset to account for their narrower width, and draw them with draw:colon. With drawTime, we transform a string of hours, minutes, and seconds into a visually appealing display of classic LCD clocks. Hope you enjoy it.
Stay tuned for more videos on Tech in 5.